Yo, what up, Dell? Let me get my live. Let me get everything set. Let me get my banner. Salute to everybody in the building. It's your boy TY. This is TY Ray TV. I know I should have set this up for a later live so I could went in depth about a lot of stuff, but I think I just wanted to go live anyway. So I might change the title of this depending on where my conversation go. Salute to everybody up in the building. For people that know me, for this talking stuff, it's that time. It's that time. Hold on, give me a minute. So depending on my conversation go, I might switch the title. Might switch the title up. Hope everybody have a good, decent morning. Morning just started off, but I know it's gonna be a good day. Let's get to it, man. So yeah, I might change the title, and we can just have a convo. You know what I'm saying? I was up late. Shit, I was up to about three-ish. I was up to three. Oh, I was almost up to four because I was, I got to change the title of this. I got to change the title of this. What up, Uncle L, Miss EVE? I'm going to change the title of this. I'm just going to kick it. I ain't going to talk sports. I'm just going to kick it. Yeah, I was up to like four, rocking out with brown skin lady, man. Having a good time. So my sleep been off because by it being a holiday, this kind of hurry up my schedule back. But soon I get off work, there's nothing going on. Absolutely. So I've been coming home from work taking a nap because there's nothing going on. So, and the holiday always throw my schedule off. So rocking out brown skin lady, having a good old time. You know what I'm saying? Salute to brown skin lady. What's cracking? Hey, if y'all want me to talk about sports, you can say you want me to talk about sports, but I'm just kicking it. I'm not gonna go in on nobody, but just rock out. I know certain content creator, he in his feels. If I was you, I'd be in my feelings too. If my channel took a nosedive, 180-degree turn from where it was last year, I'd be upset too. I'd be looking to argue and fight with anybody and everybody too. You can talk about. I can talk about sports. All right, we can talk about some sports. We can talk about sports because I was going to talk about anything, and I was just going to change the title later. Well, I will say, starting off, we could talk about what my title says. The Lakers signed who? The Lakers signed Christian Woods. Christian Woods plays center forward. He played for multiple teams. Played for the Pistons. I know he played with us. He went over to Houston. Now he played for the Lakers, and I think that's a solid sign up. That's a 17 point, 7 rebound minimum. Minimum. Don't get it twisted. That is minimum. Is he a strong player on defense? No, he's not a strong player on defense. I think that's why he's been so expendable with certain teams. And I wish Straight Talk was up here because he played for Houston, and Straight Talk did not care for Christian Woods. He ain't care for Christian Woods, man. Like I thought, man, the dude phenomenal when he was with Pistons. That's what got him up and got him the contract and got him the bread. So now the Lakers signing him, and I don't know. Like I know he's not going to start over Davis, you know that, but he probably can slide to the power forward, or Davis can slide to the power forward, and it'll probably give him some extra minutes, and hopefully Davis don't get hurt. But you already know he on time management anyway. So no matter what, I don't think we never gonna see Anthony Davis play 80, 81 games ever, 82. His whole career, he's always played like 70 something, 76, 67, somewhere in that range. He's never gonna play a full season. But I think with Christian Woods, this should help him out, dial back some minutes, and even when he can't start, you can just slide Christian Woods in that spot, and that guy can mess around and give you 20 plus. 20 plus and give you rebounds. Not the dominant, but man, he's serviceable. He's serviceable. So I think that was a good sign by the Lakers. Can't be mad about that. I mean, he was just out there. He signed a 2-year deal. They didn't give details of how many millions, but he signed 2 years with year 2 being a player option, right? So he could sign. So if he have a phenomenal first year, he could be like, nope, I'm a free agent unless y'all gonna throw me the bag. So salute to Christian Woods, man. He ain't a bad dude. I didn't want him back on the Pistons. I didn't, because he don't play on defense. And being here, I want somebody that's gonna play some defense. But for the Lakers, and I still think the Lakers putting themselves in the box. They still putting themselves in the box. They still picking up players, but that's on the West Coast. All right, so let's keep in mind that is on the West, and they really don't need to play that much defense on the West. It's like, name a defense on the West other than Denver that plays defense. So I think as far as offense, I think it's gonna help them out, balance them out a little bit. I don't know the rest of the Lakers roster. It's not in front of me. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Salute. Tomorrow is the kickoff of NFL. I'm excited. My Lions is kicking off the NFL season. And right now, of course, the Lions is an underdog. But you will hear a lot of different media platforms today give the Lions a chance. Reason is they number 1 defensive player, Chris Jones, will not be suiting up. I think they about to trade him because he's holding out for a contract that they're not going to pay him. So he's not going to play. That kind of changed the game plan for KC on how they're going to defend the run, right? And if I'm KC, I'm worried because the Lions got 2 excellent running backs. Really, the Lions got three very good running backs. But if they got their tape, the Lions got 3 good running backs. And I can see the Lions getting over 100 yards in rushing against KC tomorrow. The second thing is Kelsey. They number 1 and arguably a best offensive player next to Patrick Mahomes. He hyperextended his knee. So he's questionable for tomorrow. This happened yesterday in practice. Hold on. All right, so now I don't want people to give up on KC yet. Now I rooted for KC to get to the Super Bowl. KC last year had to like 12 rookies that played on KC last year, and they defense is young but solid. But I think Detroit offense can and will be a little bit too much. If Kelsey don't play, it's gonna be different. This is what I had at first, right? This is the score and the prediction I had before the news dropped this week. I had a score being 32-28 KC. Now I'm gonna say 32-28 Detroit. If Kelsey don't play, Kelsey makes all the difference in the world. He brings so much attention to the defense that, what I'm saying, he draws people so that way Patrick Mahomes be getting them the flare outs for the running back, them short routes for the receiver, those slants. He opens it up for other people, and then Kelsey always found a way to get open. Hold on. Good morning. Let me. I will be getting to some comments in a minute. Let me get this. Let me get to some comments. Hold on. It should be a blowout. KC don't have elite running backs. or receivers. They don't have elite running back, but you got listen. You got to respect the offense because Patrick Mahomes is he the guy that makes things happen. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, like look, they won the Super Bowl. What they got with Schuster or whatever. He was a number one wideout. He's not a number one wideout. When he played with Pittsburgh, I told people for years Juju Schuster was not a number one running back. If AB was taking attention off of him, that would gave him a good season. And this guy thought he was the guy until he wasn't the guy anymore. I think it's gonna be a good game. But yes, if you're a KC fan, I'd be totally nervous going against the Detroit Lions team that's ready to, come out here and prove a lot of people wrong and ready to, take that next step up into stardom and stuff like that. And this is how they start the season. If they're going to win the division, they got to start now putting fear out there. I mean, Detroit offense puts up numbers. I mean, at least they did last year, and they seem like they clicking, they ready to go. We do got some issues over on our defensive line with one of our starters, Isaiah Buggs. He's not going to start. Somebody, out practice him. So since he let somebody out practice him, he won't be playing. He's scratch. So he kind of upset about that. I think, he got to step his game up. That's it. But we also in the talks of trying to trade for Mike Evans. There's been a lot of talk that the Detroit Lions might trade for Mike Evans because Tampa Bay won't give him a contract. And I don't know what to say with that, right? All right. Here's my say. Like Mike Evans 30, right? Do he deserve a big contract? I think he do because dude been putting up numbers for them for years. He's an elite receiver. He's been doing this job for years. Do he stay on the field the whole time? No. He be injured. He be missing games. So as an agent and as a GM, how do you negotiate that? And I think that's where it starts and stops right there. So but if he come to Detroit, we can use him. I mean, we got some receivers right now. We got some receivers. I like the receivers we have, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I'm looking forward. I think tomorrow gonna go crazy. I'm sure everybody else looking for the NFL season to start. We already know college started off with a bang. It started off with a bang with Colorado doing what they're supposed to, winning. So I think it's gonna go crazy. Whew. Salute to you. Salute. Man, get ready to punch you in. Colorado. Speaking of Colorado, if y'all don't follow college, it's okay. But they slid them and Duke slides in the top 25. Duke, a college football team. As far as I can remember watching college football, I have never seen Duke in a top 25. I mean, as I can remember, I'm not saying never happened. I'm not saying it never happened. I just don't remember Duke football team ever being in the top 25. Will they stay there? I don't think so. I do not think Duke football team is going to stay in the top 25. But since you had a Clemson loss, you had LSU lose, you had TCU lose. That's 3 slots. So it was, nothing to slide them people up in there. Nothing to slide. MSU is number 4. Florida State is at number 4. And it's been a long time since them boys been in the top 10. Salute to Florida State. This give me, I'm telling you, this give me old vibes. Like back when I was in high school, seeing Colorado in the top 25, Florida State, those schools used to be popping back then. Back in the early 90s, these schools used to be popping. So salute to them. Salute to Colorado, of course. Salute to Coach Sanders. All right. Salute to Coach Sanders. It starts there. Hold on. One sec. Come on. Hold on. Yep. So salute to Coach Sanders getting his team up. Um, People say they, do you believe? I ain't gonna say I didn't believe. I thought Colorado was gonna be top 25. I didn't think they're gonna jump off the gate like that against TCU. But then again, I'm not a big TCU, Texas Christian University fan, so which I can follow. I remember them losing some dope receivers. I remember them losing some DBs, but I don't know all the players they lost. I'm not, what I'm saying? I don't know every player that they lost. But Colorado put it on them. And you gotta think Colorado had what, 75 transfers or 75 players that come in from the portal. That is a lot of players. That's a lot of players that come to your school that want to play for you. That's different. That means they played somewhere else. They started other places, and now they came to play for you. So it ain't like these kids didn't have talent. It ain't like they didn't have experience already. They just had to get with the coaching. And the coaching, prevailed, man. Salute to coaching. And coaching can always win. I honestly believe that. Coaching can always win. Yeah, the players got to go out there and execute the plays. They got to use their talent, but the coaches put the players in a position to win. I always thought that. I'm always going to agree with that because the coaches are the motivators. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you got a good coach, you'll run through a wall for him. That's why I love Dan Campbell. That's why I love Dan Campbell, because his players will run through a wall. Like, what I'm saying? They're going to be biting ankles, man. He proved that. And players right now want to play for him. Players have taken contract negotiations to stay with him. Players, as you know what I'm saying, like, I take league minimum to stay here. And then we got to the fact that in my whole life of being a Lions, I never known them to cut good players. You know what I'm saying? That's how deep the roster is, that, your team cutting players that you would never like, whoa, I don't want to lose him because somebody's going to sign him. We never been there. And this year, we was in that position. I'm so excited about football. I'm super excited about football. So tomorrow, I'm looking forward for tomorrow's game. I'm looking forward for another week of college football. And then, start to line up. You're going to get them Thursday night college games. Friday, you got, Friday. Of course, you got Monday night football. You're going to have Thursday night football. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, man. Oh, man. That I got a phone call. That's why I was like, I was gonna do. That's why when I set this, I'm like, dang, I should not set sports up for this morning. I should not, because I got things going on. But it's all good. It's all good. Well, the team U.S. basketball, they beat Italy. They beat them. I want to say some cuss words, but they beat them bad, as they should, after catching that L. After catching that L, they went ahead and took care of business. And I feel like the U.S. team catching one loss in a World Cup is not, they still in medal contention. So it's not a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? You just don't want to see them lose to a lower level team like that. You just don't want to see them lose. All right, Vetted. Yeah, I ain't going to be too long. I just want to chop it up with people. I figure I'd do it with sports. I figure I'd do it with sports. All right, man. So, what everybody else got going on? I got a couple minutes. I got about 5 more minutes before I got to get to it. Dang, that's crazy. Hyperextension knee. If I'm Kelsey, I really don't try it unless he's gonna play with a brace. But for y'all fantasy football people, I wouldn't play him. I would not play him. And this is for fantasy football people. I used to do fantasy football. If you got Kelsey starting, I would not play him. Even if they say he's game time decision, I would not play him. The Lions gonna focus on him. The first time he catch the ball, those DBs was gonna put a licking on him, and he's gonna be out the game anyway. I would not play, dude. I'm telling you, them Lions players, they play to hurt. They play to hurt you. So if I'm the coach, I wouldn't do it. I would not do it, man. So we're gonna do predictions later on because I want to know what people teams and how they feel, what they predicting their record's gonna be. We're gonna do Coach Sanders' prediction for the rest of the season. Looking at his schedule, I think the only team he really got to worry about is Oregon. I think that's the only team. If he beat Oregon, it's a cakewalk. I'm sorry, unless they just get high and mighty on themselves, it's gonna be a cakewalk for the season. But they do got Oregon on the schedule, and Oregon was just they beat it, put 81 up on another team, 81 points. 81 points. I can't imagine. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If I play for any team and a team come into my field, or I go there and they put 81 up on me, man, I'm transferring out of that school. Transferring out. I'm like, coach, this is some bull. We all play football here. We all play the sport. We all play the sport. And y'all didn't put us in the best position to get 81 points. Yeah. It's a couple teams. It's a couple people that was putting fantasy leagues out. Let me tell y'all why I don't do fantasy. No, I retire. I got trophies. All right, I got trophies all in my closet for playing fantasy. Fantasy football takes a lot of your time. If you're trying to win, it takes so much of your time. It's like having a part-time job. Sunday mornings, you're looking at injury reports all through the week. You're looking at injury reports. You're looking at everything. It takes so much of your time because the moment let's say if somebody got a bye week and you don't transfer them out, next thing you know, you're shorthanded because you didn't pay attention to the scout report. You didn't pay attention to who playing, like little different nicks and injuries. And when I do my pregame, I will put injury reports out there for people that do play the fantasy to let people know, hey, so-and-so, he only practiced 2 days this week. I'll put all that information out as I get it and as I research because it is vital to watching football. That's what makes football so great because people got the fantasy. So they really in tune to what's going on. That's why defense is important. You picking certain teams, like on defense, you get to pick the whole team defense for help you with your fantasy. The kickers matter. Every kick, how many field goals, them points matter in fantasy. How many catches, if you go over 100 yards, that all that stuff matters in fantasy football. So injuries is high up there. And it just takes too much time. I do not miss getting up at 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, going through all these injury reports and seeing who did what. Is like it was a job, and I was in 2 leagues at once. Yeah, she leaves at once. For like 2 years in a row, I was in a championship game in both leagues at the same time, and that is stressful. I mean, it was fun because I mean, you do it for bragging rights. You do it for bragging rights, but it takes a lot of work, and I don't do it. But when people ask me for my opinion, because I got friends that still play fantasy, they'll always hit me up and say, "What do I think? Who should I start?" And I got female friends that when they called me, they didn't do it this year. Well, a lot of the league teams that haven't started yet, but they didn't do it this year as far as asking me who to draft. I had literally draft players for people. Yeah, so I'm into that, man. But let me get back to it. That's just my sports. I will be back probably on the Crew podcast because I want to get some stuff off my chest on the YouTube level, lower level YouTube talk. So probably about a couple hours, probably about 10 o'clock, 10:30. I'm gonna go live from the Crew podcast. If y'all not subbed up, please sub up there. It's gonna be from the Crew podcast only. I gotta get some stuff off my chest. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be on that channel. I got free time. I got a couple things I need to do today, but not too much. So I'm gonna rock out with y'all, give y'all my time. All right. But salute to y'all to come up this morning, coming off the bench, giving y'all a little sports update. Christian Woods signs with the Lakers, 2-year deal. I left out Danny Green signed a 1-year deal with the 76ers. That's a solid move right there. Salute to Danny Green. Kelsey, uncertain for the opener against the Lions tomorrow. Hyperextended knee. That when it comes to the knees, you just can't play around with them. You can't play around with them. Colorado, Duke slides into the top 25 and the college top 25. Florida State is at number 4 now. And U.S. basketball team, they beats Italy after losing to Lithuania. So salute to that also. And we can't leave out the little golf, the tennis star. She reaches her first U.S. Open semifinal. So I think, do she play today? That could be going down. But let me get out of here. My delivery truck is pulling in as we speak. So, hey, I'll see y'all in a few hours. And we're going to talk on the Crew podcast. And I'm going to be talking my talk for real. I'm going to be talking my talk. Salute to everybody that came and rock out with me. I salute y'all. People in the bushes. Listen, if you don't watch sports or you don't like me, you ain't got to come around. I literally got people that sit in the bushes, listen to me talk sports, but then going to other channels saying I'm boring. If I'm so boring, why even come here for real? Because I'm not going to miss you if you're not here. I'm going to put this information out regardless. I don't care what my number's at. You got to start somewhere. I'm fine with it. I know what I'm doing. I'm glad I'm doing this. All right. And salute to people that's coming here, rocking out with me and listening. All right. 3 strikes. I'm out. You know why? I'm gone. Hey, I'm sorry. Will I start Purdy or Golf? Oh, I'm starting Golf. For real. He gonna put up 300 against KC. He gonna put up 300 against KC for real. 49ers got their own issues. Hey, last I checked, Bosa still ain't signed. All right. Purdy coming off the injury of last year. I don't think he 100%, but he may be. But I'm definitely signing Golf. Oh, playing Golf over Purdy. For real. I don't see no reason why Golf don't put up no numbers against KC defense, especially with no pass rush, with Chris Jones being out. It's gonna go crazy. Y'all see what I'm talking about. All right, now 3 strikes. I'm out. You know what? I'm gone. Peace.